each and every individual to mastermind seminars. Hi, my name is Mark Boersma, president of Synergy Solutions, and wow, are we in for an amazing session today. It seems like we're going over a lot of information in a very short period of time. The reason it seems that way is because we are. So this is not a quick fix, get rich quick type of thing. I have found that in life, that anything that's really worth doing takes time to build. And so we welcome you online. We'd encourage you, a couple things is, if you have questions, you can text those questions in. So you can text those questions in, because we want you to be a part of what we're doing here, and we want to be here what you're doing there too. So we want to connect all of us together. If you have not gone through and done a strategy session, you'll want to do that. Because the strategy session, it's a 30-minute strategy session, and it will change your life. The individual that is doing this with you will help you to understand your personality and your biggest challenge and how those interconnect and how to solve your biggest challenge a lot faster. So it's a lot of fun. If you're participating in the live, make sure you talk to Melissa. Melissa, wave your hand. Make sure you talk to Melissa before you leave, and she'll get one scheduled for you, for somebody that will be able to go through and do that. This is what's called a level 1 examination. So it's 7 very short questions that is used in the 30-minute strategy session in being able to understand your personality, your strengths, your weaknesses, all of those type of things. And so you fill that out if you're live here. If you're online, if you're looking virtually, you can go to dnaforsuccess.com and then go to examination on the top, and you'll be able to see that and fill that out, fill out that short questionnaire, and somebody will connect with you. All right, so if we're live here, take this. This will be your guide for today. This will help you to track what's going on. And so, again, if it seems like we're going over a lot of information in a short period of time, the reason it seems that way is because we are. And so, Roseanne, if you could get the laser pointer in my pick right there, that'd be great. And so what we have is, we're actually today covering creating profitable partnerships. How many of you would love to have profitable partnerships? Can I see your hands? Okay. How many of you believe that you have profitable partnerships right now? Can I see your hands? Okay, good. All right. How many of you believe that you have systems in place that create profitable partnerships even when you're not working? Can I see your hands? Okay. That's a lot harder to do. And so in month 1, what we went and we talked about the value of installing systems. So if we don't understand the value of installing systems, what we're going to do is we're going to end up working a lot more hours, making less money than what we should be. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. And so the value of installing systems, that's month 1. Now, it connects back in to what we did. We're in year 2, actually, in the event. So in year 1, the last month, we talked about your life vision. What is your life vision? What were you put on this planet to achieve? How many have clarity on what your life vision is and why you're put on this planet to, what you're put on this planet to achieve? Okay? A few. My life vision, what I believe I was put on this planet to achieve, is to touch every single person in the world, one person at a time, make a huge difference in every aspect of their life in a really fun and exciting way. And yes, that's 7 billion plus people. So you guys are part of that life vision. My life vision taps into yours taps into mine. We can all accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. Month 2 is, how do you generate more and better leads? So the value of a system, and then what we're looking at is in month 2, and you'll see this it's actually on this page here, what's your biggest challenge? and then it's the second 4. I'm not sure why there's 2 4s, but there's 2 4s, and so it's the second 4 right here. You'll see this. And so it's generating more and better leads. We're going to learn how to do that through profitable partnerships. This is one of my favorite months, because it's leveraging everything with everyone else that we have. And so I've spent 30 years in business, on my own company, I've been blessed to be an international speaker and author. I have a lot of connections, I have huge databases, and so I make a good, profitable partner, as you do. And so your whole life you've invested into relationships and connections and networks and understandings and all of those type of things. And so how can you and I work together to combine our networks? How can you and I take our talents, our gifts, and blend those together? And that's really what today is all about. Then how do you convert more prospects to client? How do you convert prospects faster? How do you generate a large quantity of referrals? How do we create client-for-life relationships? Leadership, how do we create massive profits? That's what we went and covered last month. And so each of these we cover once a month, one topic a month. The structure for today is at the top. You'll see again, it's in 4. It's speed networking. And so we're going to have Edward Kurtz come up in just a moment and do that. And so the speed networking is, how do we connect at a very, very fast pace in being able to get to know one another, get to know, like, and trust one another, where I'm willing to share everything I can with you to have you see success, and how do I do that for myself? And Edward will go into more details. The simplest way to do it, you want the really fast and simple way, anybody can do it, is get a business card, and then on the back of a business card, write their biggest challenge. So I'm just curious, like, what's the biggest challenge that you're facing, like, in any area of your business? If you get somebody's biggest challenge, that will set you apart from everybody else that they've met at that networking event. So how many of you go to networking events at least on a monthly basis? Okay. So when you go to networking events, whether it's a chamber, an association, or a mastermind group, or a meetup group, or whatever that is, when you go to that, get the business card and always, always get their biggest challenge. If you're not sure what to do with what their biggest challenge is, just put your hand to your chin and go, that's interesting. Let me give that some thought. I'll get back to you. That's all you got to say. It's nothing harder than that. If you bring somebody else's biggest challenge, somebody's biggest challenge that they're having will be solved by any one of these. So it's like painting by the numbers. It's very, very simple. Then we're going to go over in segment 2, we're going to go over wins and biggest challenges. So what are the wins that we've had in the last 30 days? And then what are the biggest challenges that we're facing? And then segment 3 is personality masteries. It's the DNA for people. And Dawn's going to be sharing about that. Edward's going to be sharing about the DNA for business, which is the 530 grid. And then Melissa's going to be sharing about the DNA for life, which is natural laws. Then we'll have 10 minutes. Each of these are 10-minute segments. So it goes, again, pretty fast. It's about 6-7 minutes of presentation, and then 3-4 minutes of Q&A. It typically takes a couple months of attending to really get into it and say, okay, I think I understand what's going on. Because it does move very quickly, but it all makes sense. I mean, it's all designed to do that. And then what are we going to be covering next month? And next month, we're going to be talking about how do you develop profitable mastermind groups. And so getting up and speaking, I would encourage each of you to have a goal, a desire to do that. It's only 6-7 minutes. If I can do it, anybody can do it, really, seriously. It's interesting when I think back, when I was in college, I had, for my bachelor's degree in marketing, I had 4 presentations I had to give my senior year. And I hated speaking so much that I got out of all 4 of them. I negotiated my way out of speaking all 4 of them. And now, I'm an international speaker and author. Figure that out. Why is that? It's because I learned that when we learn how to speak in front of people, we have confidence and we can impact a lot more people. And so if you want to make more money, if you want to work less hours, if you want to reduce your stress, if you want to improve your life balance, learn to be a speaker. learn to be a presenter. And you can do that in this group. And this group is great in nurturing it. We miss Kevin King. Kevin, I don't know if you're on or not, but if you are, we miss you. We can't wait until next month where you can come back and MC. All right, so that is the agenda that we have. The next dimension above that is going to be next month, so profitable partnerships. How do you set up a mastermind group? And so what is your biggest challenge? So what is your biggest challenge? And go to, again, your fourfold here, go to segment number 5. So go to segment number 5, or box number 5, and list out your biggest challenge. So right now, what's the biggest challenge that you're facing in any area of your business or life? What's the biggest challenge that you're facing right now in any area of your business and life? Again, right here, what's your biggest challenge? And then down here, what's your biggest challenge? What's the biggest challenge that you're facing in any area of your life? Write that out right now. Everybody, write that out. Gotta know your biggest challenge. So Einstein said, you can never solve a problem on the level it was created. So how many of you have some type of challenge or problem? Can I see your hands? Okay. If you don't raise your hand, then I'm going to pull you up here, and I'm going to have you go ahead and speak. And so we all have a challenge. What does, you can never solve a problem on the level it was created, what does that mean, do you think? Yeah.
Well, I think that goes along with, I lost my train of thought. I think that goes along with, you have to elevate your thinking to create new solutions. So when what that means to me, like when I hear that you can never solve a problem with the same level of thinking in which it was created, the state that you're at right now and what caused you to be where you're at, you'll never be able to improve or get past that until you change or elevate your thinking to a different level.
Excellent. That's exactly what it means. It means that we created the problem that we had. Spouse didn't, children didn't, parents didn't, business didn't, boss didn't, education didn't, government didn't. We created our own problems. And until we own those problems and saying, okay, the reason we've created that problem is because of the way we think. And so the only way we're going to solve that problem is by thinking in a different way. And so when you look at, this is what's called the next dimension principle. And so in the next dimension principle, what's a higher number, a 2 or a 9? Most people will say, well, of course, a 9 is higher than a 2. Because we're stuck in the way we think right now. If there's 10 levels of proficiency in a dimension, then once we hit a 10, we move to a new dimension. In that new dimension, a 2 in this dimension is actually higher than a 9 in the previous dimension. So it's dimensional living and dimensional thinking. And when you look at individuals that are making twice as much money as you and I are, why is that? It is because they think in a different way than what we think. So if we want to double our income, reduce the number of hours we're working, reduce our stress, improve our life balance, if we want to do that, we're going to have to change the way we think. So everybody, has everybody written down what their biggest challenges? Okay. So in one of the segments, you're going to find the solution today if you want the solution. How many of you want the solution to the biggest challenge that you're facing in your life? What if I told you maybe you don't? What would be your response to me? What do you?
Possible.
Possible. So you're open to that type of thinking. Okay, John?
I would say, why would my first would be why? Why would you think that I'm not ready for that answer or not capable of understanding that answer?
Right. And so you're both coachable. You're both open to suggestions. If you resist it, if you become defensive, if you say, well, you don't understand me, this and this and this, well then, you know what? It's not going to impact it. And so being open is very, very important. My experience in doing executive level coaching for 24 years is that many people are not open to finding a solution. It's the most confusing thing on the planet. Kind of like having kids. How many of you have kids? How many of you have teenagers? Okay. My wife and I, we've been blessed with 7 children. Yeah, our oldest is 27, our youngest is 14, 3 boys, 4 girls, 3 teenagers, 2 still at home. And it's the most confusing thing to raise teenagers, isn't it? It's like, does it ever seem to you that they don't want to solve their problems? See, we're no different really than they are. Really, we're not. I mean, we're at a little higher dimension in being able to disguise that we pretend to be open, but we're not. So with the speed coaching, I believe that Edward's going to come up, share a few things. And we want to get into, in the first segment, is connecting with other individuals. And again, Edward will go through that. And how do we make sure that we follow through on the things that we learned today? So let's give it up for Edward.
Okay. Now everybody knows your biggest challenge. Here's what we're going to do today. You're going to give your name and your biggest challenge. Then at the end of the segment, you're going to pair off with somebody and tell the person, did you solve your biggest challenge? You know, how you solved it, or do I need help with my biggest challenge, or whatever. So we're going to go around the room, and we're going to go what your biggest challenge is, and then pair off with somebody. Keep that in mind. So at the end, you're going to come up with what you're going to do for your biggest challenge, or did you solve it today? And since I don't know any of these people, I can pick on them first, right? Let's start over there.
My name is Victor. My challenge is I'm always fear of doing something. For example, like my state exam for my broker, I didn't want to go take it because I was afraid I was gonna fail, and so I stepped up and actually did it. That's my biggest challenge being here.
Okay.
I'm Sarah. My biggest fear still is like getting out of my bowl and being more involved. Speaking in front of people, I'm very afraid of that. But I still haven't worked on it.
So you want us to get you up here at the end of the segment? Okay.
My name is Eric. My biggest challenge is staying focused. I have a lot of ideas. I want to do a lot of things, but it's hard for me to do one thing and just finish it. I can always start a lot of things, but can never finish them.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Evelyn. My usual challenge is public speaking, but I just came back from the test and I didn't pass, so right now that's challenging me right now. So I have to focus on that part right now.
I'm Dawn, and I can totally relate to Eric. My biggest challenge is also focus, and I'm also involved in a lot of things, and follow through, self-discipline is my challenge.
I'm Emily. I think that the focus, the follow-through, the follow-up, that's my biggest challenge.
Okay. Let's go to John.
My name's John. I would say my biggest challenge right now is closing sales. I can generate leads. I have buyers. I have clients. Right now it's just closing them and getting them through that final step in the process.
My name is Steve. I wrote down getting John to get listings, but that was really just for him. But more generally, it's getting everybody on the team to produce to the level that they say they want to produce, or even get close, really.
I'm Peter, and I actually play in a band, so I'm part of my bandmates, so I'm trying to motivate them to be on a level that we can be effective, where sometimes people won't show up when they need to because they have other priorities. So it's like trying to show the importance to them, what time we need to manage, and take advantage of that to move forward. I guess that's it, focusing the group.
My name is Melissa. My biggest challenge right now is money. It's just simple as that. I have a motivation, I have the opportunity, I just don't have the money to do the things that I need to do. So I have the motivation, I'm working there, and the follow through is not actually an issue for me. I guess it's motivation to stay on the path of trying to earn that money and trying to make the goal that I have in order to get out of the situation that I put myself in. So.
My name is Katrina. I don't really have one biggest challenge. I have way too many that I can't pick one, so.
So your biggest challenge is you have too many challenges.
Yeah.
Okay.
My name's Rosanna. My biggest challenge is just adjusting my way of thinking to not be negative in certain areas.
My name is Mark. My biggest challenge is cloning myself.
Yeah. This sounds like an AA meeting. My name is. Okay, my name's Ed, and my biggest challenge, which I'm really concentrating on right now, is getting my team to be successful. And it's not. I don't think it's a motivation factor. So I'm trying to really work on what I have to do to help them get what they want. So, I know I got 3 minutes left, but I don't need them.
So I think what we do is we match up.
You want to match up now and then at the end?
And at the end too. And so now it's like I have an extra 20 hours of free time a week. I have a massive amount. I have so much extra time I don't know what to do with it. Very few people will say that. And it really comes down to thinking about time in a very different way and then being very, very disciplined in how I use my time. What I find is that people that tend not to be disciplined tend not to have a lot of extra time. They just don't. And so you guys all will take, a couple hours to participate in this event. Will you take 5 to 10 minutes a week, which is really over the next 3 weeks, is 15 to 30 minutes. Will you take that amount of time to follow through on what you learned today? Sorry, that was a question. Will you take 5 to 10 minutes to follow through on what you want to learn, what you want to follow through on today? Will you do that?
Yes.
Okay. Will you do that? And what I mean by following through on it, will you call one person? Will you call one person so you connect together and you say, hey, how are you doing? Will you do that?
Sure.
Okay. What you need to do is, speaking is really, there's so many people. You are such an interesting person. You really are. You really are. You just don't know you're that interesting. But you are. And I know that. Because I've met a lot of people all over the world, and I've never met somebody who's not an interesting person. Never. So what we need to do is have some courage. So I want you to connect right now for the next 5 minutes with at least one person that you do not know. Okay?
So no, there's switch tables.
Switch tables. Go around. One person you don't know. Share with them your biggest challenge. And then connect with them. Give them a business card or your number. And then you guys need to connect once a week for 5 minutes. If you talk for a half an hour, 2 hours, I don't care how long you talk, but don't think of it as an hour. It's 5 minutes. That's all you need to. How are you doing on following through on what you learned? Okay, so you're going to call one person once a week, one person you don't know once a week, and you're going to hold them accountable, and they're going to hold you accountable for application of what you learned. All right?
Why don't we just help them and just pair them off?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chris is going to that table right over there. Congratulations.
Excellent.
You're going to go meet with Chris, okay? You're going to go to that table right there, and you're going to go with that young lady. What's your name?
That's Evelyn.
Evelyn.
Well, they can't because they know each other.
No, you can't. Okay, Emily's going to go sit down.
Ed, everybody on this side of the room needs to be paired with everybody on this
I
side.
don't know anymore.
Okay, all right, cool.
Okay, so Peter,
So-
you'll be with Dawn.
Okay.
Yeah. Go to that table over there.
Otherwise, it just won't work.
There's too many people that know too many people.
So that's fine. So go to that table,
The only person I don't know.
right there. And then, we're gonna put table, nobody knows Emily, right?
I know
Okay, so
some
John?
people, no.
So, somebody from over here, who's with Emily, she won't mind, I promise. She might, you can come over here
That's okay.
and,
Over, Steve?
right there, and you can go to that table over there. Go all the way over there.
Mark told me to come over here.
Go over there, we'll sit down there. We'll get you somebody.
Hello.
Or sit down there. Sit down there, you're fine, sit down there. Here, go to that, yeah, you're fine, sit down. Here, go to that table over there.
I know this guy.
Do you?
I know everybody in here except for her and him.
Oh, you know what? Well, then you get up.
And you should go with Evelyn then.
Okay.
Does everybody know what you're doing?
And then, no, here.
The problem is that half the room is.
You do.
And the other half
And
is
then who do we have left?
There you go.
Alright, so you gotta.
You can sit there, and everybody's got somebody, right? Yes, sit down there.
Mine is the one
Yes.
that's cell phone
Have a seat. We're gonna do good.
on the screen.
All right, is everybody here? Everybody, you did good? Not a clue.
Okay, so biggest challenge, you're sharing that with that person. Here's the biggest challenge, you're looking for that solution today, some solution to move you forward. And then you're gonna exchange phone numbers or emails, and you're gonna connect once a week to hold that person accountable. Go to it. You have 3 minutes. Quick.